if it was gonna be match with someone and stay with them, it'd be called like Loyalty Island. It wouldn't. It would be called Perfect Match. So I thought this time around, I'm like, let me try to go in and date everybody and explore and just don't leave any rocks unturned in a way.
First of all, after winning season one, why did you want to give it another shot on season two?
I think I had a great time the first go around. Like I love Netflix. It was a fun experience. Us and all the castmates were kind of like this dysfunctional family, so it was a good fun time. And I think in my head when Netflix asked me, I was hesitant and I was like, I don't know. And they kept on. They're like, come on, come on, come on. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not come back and try it again and maybe try to go about things in a different way.
And because you won season one, were you surprised that you didn't make it past a few nights this season?
I mean, yes and no. I think once I realized that I wasn't going to be starting in the house and I was coming in as sort of like a brought in as a bomb, I think I learned how hard it is when you come in that way. Like I think when you start in the house, it's a little bit more forgiving to talk around and explore your options. But when you come in, it's a little more difficult as there's already established relationships and group dynamics that you're not used to. So you're kind of like this outsider, kind of like invading almost. So it's a more complex, harder game when you're coming in as opposed to already being there.
But did you have a different strategy, or what was your strategy going into season two compared with season one?
I think my strategy was maybe not strategy, but just a different way to go about things. I think the first season I was so loyal. Like the first person that asked every time the first person that asked to match with me, I just went with them. Francesca was like, "We gonna match?" I was like, "Yes," and I was just tunnel vision. I was loyal to her, and we see how that turned out for me, and that she wanted to explore their options, which is what it's about. You're supposed to date around, but because of that, I didn't get a chance to talk to other girls. Like I didn't get a chance to, see where things maybe would have went with Savannah or with Ines because I was so tunnel vision. I think this time I wanted to do what the show was designed to do. It's a dating show and to just date around. I think if we were supposed to, if it was going to be match with someone and stay with them, it'd be called like Loyalty Island. It wouldn't. It would be called Perfect Match. So I thought this time around, I'm like, let me try to go in and date everybody and explore and just don't leave any rocks unturned in a way.
Well, I was also going to say we all know that something happened with Georgia and Harry after y'all won. Um, did that make it did that make it awkward at all having him also in the house?
No, I mean, we weren't like the closest of friends when we did the show. We were still kind of feeling each other out, and we both knew that. But we did meet prior to the show a couple times, and we met at a Netflix event actually. And I think with reality TV, there's a lot of outside perceptions, and I think a lot of people perceived it as like, oh, these guys are going to be mortal enemies. And then we met, and we were like, I didn't know you, you didn't know me. You're just a dude. I went up to him, I'm like, I'm Dom, shook hands, and we got to know each other and let bygones be bygones, and just we were really mature about the situation.
You made a comment to Jess in episode 5 about Harry. Do you think he was really there to date to get married? Or do you think he was might have been there for other reasons?
I think we were like there's multiple reasons. I think we were there all to one have fun and date around and have a good time. And I think yeah, like I said, I didn't know Harry at the time, but I think he is a genuine person, and I think he had intentions to date to have a long term relationship. I mean, when you go into like meeting someone for the first time and you have a good connection with them, like yeah, you want things to be long term and to see things through. I think that's a logical thing for anybody who's infatuated in lust wants to do. You see someone, you like them, you're smitten, you're in love with them. Of course, you want it to go all the way.
And we also have to talk about what went down with you and Tolu. When was the moment that you knew that you weren't a perfect match?
I think it was great the first date, and I think it was after the kissing challenge when that went down, and um, I think getting the low score, and I think just like again, I was only really in the house for 2 days, so it was like I was trying to, like I said, I wanted to explore the options. I was open to her. I was open with her about wanting to explore those options, and I was trying to get to know her and process everything. And I think we didn't have a lot in common. We didn't have a lot of similar interests, which sometimes in the real world can work, but in a place where like I'm trying to explore options and date around, I was like, oh, I kind of want to see, maybe this person has a lot of interest and I can see where things are going with them. So I think it wasn't like I thought things were gonna go south. I think I just realized like, I do want to play this a different way. I do want to date around. I don't want to hurt Tolu. I was very open that like I care for Tolu, but I wanted to have fun this time around and really explore those options. And I wanted to also make sure that she can, because I do think that she's a genuine person, and I think she was there for genuine reasons, and she wanted to date to marry as well and date for a long term. So I wanted to make sure that she also got to continue her experience. So I think by the girls' elimination, I wanted to, because I care for her, I wanted to stay with her. And then when it was guys' elimination, I wanted to make sure that when I explained to her, I wanted us to explore different options, that she thought the opportunity to pick who she wanted to go on a date with next and continue her perfect match experience. Because that's the last thing that I want to do was to ruin her experience at the expense of myself. So I'm just happy that she got to continue on because she is a genuine person. It didn't work with us, but she is a great person. She's genuine, she's authentic, and she's just beautiful and has great energy.
And looking back, do you have any regrets about how you handled it?
Um, I don't want to say regrets. I think definitely, I wish that I had an opportunity to explore. I wish I did I wish I had the opportunity to talk to everybody and not leave any rocks unturned because, when it came to season one, obviously, I won the show, but did I really, And I wish that in season one, I'd maybe explored those options with Ines or Savannah and just see and gotten to see where maybe that could have went with Ines. And I think this time around, I was like, I don't want to leave any rocks unturned. So I think my only regret is leaving so many rocks unturned.
And as we know with reality TV, the fans and the viewers, they have a lot of thoughts, they have a lot of opinions. Do you think it's fair that the viewers are painting you as a villain?
I mean, that's that's what comes with reality TV. I think that's the fun of it. It's a TV show. It's entertainment. It's edited, and that's the fun of it. Audience members are they're gonna watch the show. They're gonna be like, this is a good character. This is a villain. We want someone to root for. We want someone to root against. If you didn't have that, you're just watching people sit around in a living room doing nothing. So I think that's fun. It's entertainment. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of things that people perceive as villainous on a reality show because there's dramatic music and it's cut and it's hard to remind yourself that this is a situation where we don't really know each other. It's we're put in a house over the course of 3 weeks. I was in there for 2 days, and if you take what I did on reality TV and apply it to the real world, like I went on a date with somebody, it wasn't working out. I told them that we should see other people, and it was 2 days, and that was it. I think in the real world, you're kind of like, oh, that's a hinge date, that's 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 a Tinder
Yeah.
date, So, but I think on reality TV, everything's so heightened and blown up but that's part of the fun. That's the part of the fun, and that's why we do it. It's to entertain people, and I just want everyone to have a good time. I want everybody to win. And I want us all to remember that um, it's entertainment at the end of the day.
Definitely. I mean, that's why people love to watch shows like Perfect Match. I don't know if many would tune in for Loyalty Island, as you called it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I'm not sure how well Loyalty Island would do in the charts in the ratings.
And looking to the future, would you give Love on a reality show another shot?
I mean, the first time around, I said I wouldn't, but I think this time I'm gonna say, never say never. Shout out to my boy Justin Bieber, a fellow Canadian, um, because you never know what could happen. I think maybe something that's solely based on love and not so much a strategy game. I think Perfect Match is a love show, but it is a competition show. It is strategic at the end of the day, and people do want to stay in the house and make it to the end and as well as find their person. So yeah, who knows? Maybe a competition show, maybe something that's strictly love, and maybe there isn't a prize at the end. maybe the prize is just love. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to get you on Married at First Sight.
Oh, do you have a hookup? Do you have a do you know
You
anybody
never
over
know.
there?
You never know. Love that show. Now, looking towards the future, though, even though you're not sure, you might be down for a reality show looking for love. What are you looking for in your next partner? Like, are you dating?
Yeah, I am dating. I have been dating around, and I think my most important thing was for myself was to just get to know myself, because I feel like every time you go on these reality shows, you learn something more about yourself and what you want in a partner, and more importantly, like what you learn about yourself and loving yourself and learn like not you don't learn about loving yourself. You learn that you have to learn how to love yourself from being on these shows. So I think my most important thing was just once again just getting to know who Dom is first and foremost, and learning to love myself and going to therapy and working on myself before bringing somebody else into this world that I'm in that's very public, you know. So it's a tightrope that I have to walk, so to speak. But I think in my next partner, just finding someone who's weird like me. Like I'm a very like alternative person. I'm neurodivergent. I I'm in the anime. I'm really nerdy. I'm really dorky, contrary to belief. Like I read comic books, and I'm an introvert. I'm really quiet. So I think finding somebody that kind of matches that energy of me, of like that nerdy introverted side, is something that'd be cool. A nice change of pace as opposed to the the high energy of reality TV. I think finding something that's a little bit more low key